Hello, this is Dr. Poonam Sharma. I'm author of Strong Women, Strong Love, The Missing Manual for the Modern Marriage. In this video segment, I'd like to talk with you about Valentine's Day, and especially for those of you who were disappointed by how Valentine's might have gone for you, I'd like to offer some tips on how you can move forward past that disappointment. One little housekeeping thing before we get started, though. I am a licensed psychologist in the state of Texas, and so I do need to let you know that any information you get from this video is purely for educational purposes and should not be thought of as any form of counseling or psychotherapy. Okay? So, how was your Valentine's Day? Was it full of fun and companionship with your husband, or were you a little disappointed by how things went? Many times, we women have very specific expectations about how things should go on days like Valentine's. And, on top of that, I think we have many romantic myths typically in our minds. And one of those is believing that our dream guy, which hopefully is your husband, um, should know how to make you happy without any effort on your part. Okay. Now, when we don't let our partners know the expectations that we have in our minds, that's a problem because it can cause tremendous stress in the relationship while he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to do and you're waiting patiently for him to do that. Okay, anybody relate to that? Okay. Disappointments like a Valentine's Day letdown can easily lead to resentment and feelings of hopelessness about the relationship. And I think it's important to figure out what to do with these hard feelings and move forward. So, I'm going to offer you a couple of tips that I hope are very useful to you in doing exactly that. First one is I want to encourage you to be very direct. Okay. The next time a special occasion comes up, like Valentine's or your birthday or an anniversary, be direct about how you'd like the occasion to go. Remember that the romantic images in your mind may not be the same one in your husband's mind. Okay. And that's one of the reasons that you'll hear many guys say, just tell me what you want. And most women feel very offended by that. What do you mean, tell me what you want? You don't know what I want? And really, what the man is telling you at that point is, tell me what you want because I'm really trying to make you happy here, and I really don't know what those expectations are. So let's just put them out on the table, and then we'll all be happy. Okay. Well, we all know it doesn't always quite work that way. Okay. So if part of what you are expecting is that, your celebration or whatever occasion it is will be going out and having fun together, dinner, dancing, those kinds of things. If that's what you're really hoping for, let him know. Because he may be thinking, well, she probably, wants some roses and, I can get her a nice piece of jewelry. And then he shows up with that and you're like, rolling your eyes or just can't believe that he didn't pick up on all the clues or whatever it is you hoped he would know about what you're expecting on that day. Okay, so it may not seem very romantic to communicate these needs directly, or I should say these expectations directly, but it is really, really important in order to prevent the kinds of disappointments that we often see when occasions like this happen. Okay, and the other thing and point I make actually in the book many, many times is anytime you show up as yourself, when you put yourself out there, you let your needs be known, that is something that will deepen intimacy, will strengthen that bond you have with your spouse. So I think it's essential that you start to use that skill. So first tip is be direct. Just put it out there, let him know, and even if it doesn't feel romantic, just do it. Okay. Second one, I'd like for you to look at the big picture. Okay. Don't use Valentine's Day as the only gauge of how your relationship is going. Okay. It is one day out of 365 days in the year, and I do understand that for many people it's a very special day and it's about, expressing love to the person that you're closest to in your life. And so I understand that piece, I really do. On the other hand, the scientist in me, I'm a psychologist trained as a scientist. The scientist in me says, Okay, it's one piece of data. And what about the other 364 days? And it is important to look at those other 364 days and see, is my husband typically loving, or is he showing me love in ways that I may not even be noticing? Not everybody expresses their love through sweet words or roses, chocolates, all those images that we are surrounded by. Some people show their affection by doing things for the person they love, taking care of things around the house, or, um, washing the car. I hear that one a lot. Okay. So look for signs and gather more data. Okay. Look at the big picture. And when you're evaluating how your marriage is and how much your husband loves you, make sure that you're looking at all the information and not just what happened on that one day. And the reason I really make a point of this is that if part of what's happening is that your husband is really showing you love in ways that you may not be recognizing, he could become discouraged if you're not noticing it. And then what happens when people feel discouraged is they just give up, they just stop. They don't really want to keep doing the things that they're doing because it doesn't matter anyway. No matter what I do, she's never going to be happy. It's another thing you'll often hear men saying. Okay. So everyone will disappoint us sometime. Okay. That's going to happen in any close relationship. That is the nature of relationships. But it's important in our closest and dearest relationship, especially the one we have with our spouses, to really find a way to move forward and to put all of this in perspective. Okay. So remember that a Valentine's Day disappointment does not mean that your entire marriage is now a disappointment as well. Okay. Just use these two tips, be direct, look at the big picture, and keep moving forward and working on a constructive way on your relationship. Okay. So until next time, be sure to go to my blog, strongwomenstronglove.com, and I think you'll find some interesting, useful information there. And be sure to sign up for my newsletter so that we can be in touch. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.